Ladies, I want to preface what I'm going to say for the rest of this video with a bit of an apology. I'm going to apologise on behalf of myself and all fashionistas and the fashion industry as a whole, because I think we sometimes get it wrong when we're talking to you guys and we're talking about ourselves, because I'm one of you guys. I'm one of you guys. I don't think we take into consideration something that I'm going to name neighbourhood fashion. And by that I mean that, let's take Florida for an example. I could stand here and say, when we're talking about trends for 2023 and spring trends, capris aren't fashionable. But I know that in Florida, you wear your capris. So how am I, someone in Sussex, England, to tell you that they're not fashionable? Because in your neighbourhood, they are. So we have international fashion, which largely what this video is going to be about. But it doesn't take into consideration your own personal elements in your own neighbourhood and what would be your neighbourhood fashion. Right, let's get on. Let's talk about jeans. Jeans are an item of clothing that will often be adapted to follow a fashion for a couple of years. You know, a few years ago, they were embroidered. And I went out recently with somebody who was wearing some of those jeans with big embroidered flowers all over them. They're pretty. I know why she wore them, and she bought them because they're pretty, but they're not current now. And the way jeans are being adapted currently to follow a trend is by putting a little slit up the hem at the front, and then in a few years' time they are going to look dated. So with jeans, ignore the trends, because there will be one. There will be a trend this year and next year and last year and the year before where the fashion industry has changed it slightly, so you're buying it, but you're only going to throw it out in a few years' time. Or you're going to wear it and people are going to know, well, actually, that you've had those how many years? I can tell you've had them so many years. So go for classic cut jeans. Classic cut jean as much as possible. I'm not talking about, say, whether you go for a skinny, a straight or a flare, because they don't last. That's not a 2-year trend. That's a longer term trend. You know, flares are going to be around for a while. You know, your skinny jeans were around for 10 years, weren't they? Your straight's going to be around and so on. I'm talking about those little tiny detail elements like embroidery, like a cut up the hem. Those little elements, they are the ones that will go through fashion quickly and you'll waste your money on. Or you'll wear it and just look old-fashioned. And the same goes for detail on tops. You remember, we were wearing the cold shoulder in, what was this, about 5, 6, 7 years ago, 8 years ago? Then it went out totally. What's come back and replaced it now is cutaway. And some people might think, well, actually, I'll get my cold shoulder out and wear that. But it doesn't look right. Cold shoulder is definitely a big gap around the shoulder. Whereas the cutaway is a little bit of a cut, in lots of different places. I've got a top that's got a cut just here, which just shows a little bit of elongated skin at the neckline here. And that's quite different from a cold shoulder. So the cold shoulders we really need to be getting away from. These little cutaways, that's an element that's not going to be around for very long. So if you want to buy something like that, don't spend a fortune on it, because in a year's time, that is going to be gone. Something that is currently fashionable with younger people, and I see other YouTubers wearing these and showing these and, demonstrating how you would wear it. And this is a slouchy trouser. The trouser that's actually hanging over the shoe or hanging rolled up on top of the shoe, but the back of it, but it's all dragging along the ground. That's not going to be around for very long. That's also not a look, might be current at the moment, but it's not a look that I'm wearing. I think, okay, leave that one to the 30-year-olds. If you want to wear it and get your trousers dirty on the ground, that's up to you. If you think that looks great, slouching around like that, with your trousers hanging around the ground and modelling them like that, fine. But I think I would look stupid at 62. No, I'm not 62. Don't put extra years on me. I'm 61. Anyway, yeah, that's not for me. I'm also not tall enough. I think you'd have to be quite tall to actually get away with a baggy look like that. Years ago, we were wearing skinny jeans. Yes, we know skinny jeans aren't the thing at the moment. But if you've got them, don't wear them with a skinny top. That puts you back to 15 years ago. Skinny jeans with a skinny top. And say skinny jeans with a tunic, skinny jeans with a dress. That was all a good 10 years ago. So now, if you want to wear skinny jeans and you've still got them in your wardrobe, I still have some. They're in my wardrobe. They're great for tucking into boots and welly boots. That's why I keep my jeggings. They're for welly boots and other boots, for long boots. Tuck them in. But skinny jeans as an item to wear out, I would be making sure that I'm balancing them, say, with a mule or a wedge or on the feet. And I don't mind them with, say, like a Birkenstock in the summer as well. I think that kind of works. But for a top, I've been making sure that it's a blouse that I can zhuzh out a bit and make looser over the top, or that I'm wearing a jacket, something over a skinny top underneath, because skinny is just not 2023 at all. Can I just remind you that if you're enjoying this, to do this, please give me a thumbs up. Also comment down below. However, on the other hand, baggy with baggy. People have said don't wear baggy with baggy. Yet we're seeing baggy with baggy. This coastal vibe, a lot of that is baggy with baggy. A lot of the fashionistas you see on YouTube, the younger ones, are wearing baggy with baggy and very slouchy. And we have to be careful of that ourselves. I think we have to be careful. It's a bit like the example with the baggy trousers and long baggy trousers on the ground, you know, dragging along the ground. I think we have to be a bit careful and not go for that type of an extreme. It's a 2023 look that might be quite popular, but I would prefer to adapt it with not quite such a baggy look myself. Gladly, I'm very pleased to see though that the really baggy, the big baggy, the baggy that would fit an elephant is going out. And we're now just going for a normal sort of looser oversize, which I love. I love an oversized shirt, oversized t-shirt, oversized jumpers. Oversized I can do. Size for an elephant that they're selling for a size 8, I can't. Tunics, yeah. If I see somebody my age in a tunic, it really, I don't know what it does to me. I just think you could do better. You can do better. You don't have to be wearing a tunic just because you're in your 60s. Don't wear a tunic. You don't have to be covering up your rear. You don't have to be covering up your thighs. You don't have to cover up your waist. You don't have to cover up anything like that. Wear something modern and flattering instead of a tunic. Like I go on about these blouses that you can actually zhuzh up. You don't have to do a front tuck. Just zhuzh it a bit. When we come on to the capris, look, in Florida, yeah, you wear them, because if that's your neighbourhood, you wear it. All of these things, mind you, by the way, if everybody in your neighbourhood wears a tunic, fine, that's fashion for your area, isn't it? You know, that was my preface, remember. But anyway, if it's not fashionable for your area, you may not want to be wearing capris with, you know, that come to your mid-calf, that type of capri, because they are quite frumpy, because they're cutting your leg off at the thickest point, and often they're being worn with a tunic or they're being worn with a tight t-shirt. I've got a video on how the capri mistakes you might want to watch up here. However, that said, if in your neighbourhood everyone wears a tunic with capris, that's the fashion for your area, and you guys just get on with it. I'm not complaining about that at all. Puff sleeves are going out, the big ones, not these. These are nice. These are feminine. This is a feminine top. This is in, and it's nice, and you know, it's not too puffed, and it's a pretty top. And I'll list it down below because it has been popular with you guys, and I can list it for Canada, USA, and the UK. The same blouse, you can all get this. Anyway, yeah, so from Amazon, but yeah, put it down below. But an example of this year's blouse is this feminine puff here that's quite slimline down here, rather than the big puffs that look like you're making a Yorkshire pudding really, really well, which I can't do. All right, what trend is my next victim? Well, it's those high-low hemlines. I don't even know why we're talking about this. These haven't been around for a long time. They were definitely in 8 years ago and out 5 years ago, and haven't really come back. But still, it's on the lists of things that aren't around now, and we should know that. We should know that high-low hem is not around. What is around, and I am really wanting to get this for myself, I've just got to find the right one, is a denim skirt with a slit up the front. And I don't mean that silly little slits that you're seeing on the trouser hems I'm talking about. I'm talking about a midi to maxi denim skirt with a slit at the front. Trouble is, a lot of those are very, very high slits. They're going up beyond the knee, and I don't want that. I'm looking for one that is not so extreme that I will be able to wear year after year, because I think that the slit going straight up beyond the knee is something that in a couple of years' time will be out of date. I want mine to be a bit more classic than that, so I'm on the hunt, and when I find one, I'll let you know. If you know of one, let me know as well. And then lastly on my list that we should all know as well, infinity scarves. You know, that round and round, and you loop it round and you hang a bit there and then you hang a bit down there. Yeah, if you've got an infinity scarf, just donate it. Just get rid of it, or use it for gardening. It's it's going to date you. So no, not for spring 2023 or autumn 2023 either.